Okay, I will call the meeting, special meeting of the Guilderland Library Board of Trustees to order at 6 p.m. And would you please stand for the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any input or?
No, I checked with Luann, she said no.
No, okay. All right, on to old business. MOA, memorandum of agreement. By the library and Guilderland CSCA Unit 2. This is, we had, as you recall, we had a resolution to continue the employment of Lauren Vincent, and this is the formal memorandum of agreement. Whereas the Guilderland Public Library CSCA Unit 2 represents
Amy Relier to the front desk, please. Amy Relier,
supervising
thank you.
employees of the Guilderland Public Library, including department heads, whereas Lauren Vincent has been acting as a department head of circulation and collection services since October 3rd, 2022. And whereas the library would like to continue her employment in that role, and whereas the association is agreeable to this action with a commensurate increase in compensation for Ms. Vincent. Now therefore, both parties agree to the following. Lauren Vincent will be continued in the title of Department Head of Circulation and Collection Services until such time as his appointment is terminated by the board. These duties will be in addition to her duties as principal library clerk. While fulfilling these additional duties, Ms. Vincent shall be paid at the rate of $60,000 retroactive to October 3rd, 2022. This appointment and MOA may be terminated at any time on 10 days written notice from either the library or Ms. Vincent. This agreement is subject to approval by the Library Board of Trustees. That is what we are intend to do today. Is there a motion to approve this agreement?
So moved.
Cory, is there a second?
I'll second.
Oh, Joanne, okay. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion passes at 6:03. All right,
Kathy, did you get Alicia's vote?
excuse me?
Did you get Alicia's vote? Oh, Alicia signed that.
Oh, Alicia, did you vote?
Hi, sorry. I guess I'm not on screen, so yeah, I raised my hand. Yes.
Okay.
I'm walking around. I realize that's why I turned the video off so people don't have to see me like just walking around.
All right, well, Alicia, I'm glad you're here because, you could just one more too. Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Hi, Barbara. We just approved the first item, and we are just beginning to discuss the second item. And I'm glad to hear, Elise, because you can speak to the second item, the Monday through Thursday closure at 8 p.m. Closure of library at 8. And I know
Sure. So just like a brief overview, I know you guys went over it last board meeting, and again, I apologize that I wasn't there. But basically the gist is I did a couple of listening tours as well as had gotten feedback previous to those listening tours that there had been discussions about closing at 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And it seemed like the staff unanimously, everyone I spoke to was in favor of it. I know we did some research. I spoke to the director at Voorheesville Library as they had made a change to that time like a couple years ago. And they had said they had had no negative feedback from any of their patrons, and it seemed to go over well with the library staff as well. So I also, responded to some questions that some board members had, as well as some that had come up when we were, discussing with the committee. what we were going to recommend, and basically the concerns with meetings that were later at night or, would go past that 8 p.m. time, like who would be able to, close up the library. And it looks like the maintenance staff is there until 11 p.m. So regardless of the staff situation, all of that would be covered. So, the Buildings and Grounds Committee met on it, and we unanimously voted to recommend the 8 p.m. closure for Monday through Thursday.
Okay, and I would just mention that I had asked the question about how people would know that they could still have a meeting until 9 o'clock. And I think the answer was that it could be that people could sign up still for that time period from like 7 to 9.
Yep,
And
so our
so-
library software shows that they can schedule it till 9.
Right, so that was the issue that I was wondering about with the earlier closure, because I know that many people start their evening meetings or events at 7 p.m. and it would be not probably a good thing for them to be limited to just 1 hour. So that answers that question. So people would still be able to have their meetings for several hours if that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah, of course. And I don't know what's on the reservation sheet. I don't know if it mentions anything like what time that they would have to be out by, but it looks like it doesn't really change anything regardless, because even when closing at 9, the maintenance staff was still here later and would have been the go-to for closing after that staff went home.
Does this still require that 45 days notice to staff or not? So I talked to our, we actually had a labor management meeting today, and I talked to one of the union reps, and they said that they would be willing to waive the 45-day notice. So if we wanted this to go into effect July 1st, August 1st, they could absolutely do that. Mid-July.
Now, there was I think, a desire to
And I
have
have
it
it
have this
roughly
go into
too.
effect when summer hours went into effect. When do summer hours go into effect?
So July 1,
July 1st. Oh, okay.
which is a
so
couple of
that is-
days. Yeah, so
That's
that is a little abrupt.
Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, it is a little abrupt. So I think that's why I reached out to the union and said, like, hey, you have this 45-day, notice. Can this be waived? I think everyone kind of agrees that July 1st would be kind of abrupt for people. So I think the compromise would be maybe mid-July or August 1st, if the board didn't want to do July 1. I mean, marketing wise, it kind of works out because we could just say like, these are our summer hours. We're closed on Sundays and we're now closing at 8, but I do, it's a 2-day notice. So I can understand how that's a little abrupt.
Well, people might mistakenly think that you're only closing at 8 in the summer.
Correct.
If you say that these are your summer hours and we're closing at 8.
Yeah.
They might think that's just a temporary summer thing. So I don't know if it works out better to do it later in the summer. And I don't really know what date works the best
Yeah,
for.
I had originally suggested at our last meeting, this is when we thought we had to give 45 days, so that would put us somewhere into August. I had suggested that we do it with the change of hours into the fall. Just to make it, just the communication of the change of hours a little simpler, because, there's, the Sundays would be, reopening and things are changing anyway. But if that makes us have to wait, if the 45 days doesn't apply, does it make sense to wait 2 full months longer than we need to make this change just so it coincides? I'm not sure.
So
I think I'm a fan of like the August 1st start, if that makes sense to start at the beginning of a month.
And it also gives, time for marketing to get like some talking points to staff, like, if, patrons come in and have some questions.
What day of the week is August 1st, though? I don't know if it makes sense to do in the middle of a week that
Oh, that makes sense.
Maybe the first Monday in August or something.
August 1st is a Tuesday.
Okay, could we do July? Does July have 31 days? July 31st?
trying to think.
Natalie, while you're looking, can I just throw out a thought? If the union is willing for July 1st, the data that you showed were so few people there, why not just start July 1st? I mean, that would be my preference,
Well, it'll affect the employees too, to have to shift their schedules an hour earlier.
but
so-
they were willing.
Yeah, I think-
Evidently, they were willing to do it.
Yeah, and that was, so that was the union's only concern, as long as there's no detriment to the staff, like anybody losing hours, they were fine with July 1. So we just need to ensure that that's okay.
How far out are these hourly folks scheduled?
I think at least a month, could be more.
What's the library's schedule on this Monday? Because Tuesday is the 4th of July. What is Monday a normal?
Monday would be a normal,
Okay.
yeah,
So that-
we're open, yes.
So that would be so that Monday would be the first day it would affect.
Yeah. And then we're closed Tuesday and then Wednesday and Thursday.
I would just say
Yeah.
whatever you can work out with the staff, the sooner the better, and they seem to want it, and from your statistics,
What
public
about
isn't
July
using it.
10th or 17th? Like that's a Monday and it's a few weeks later and it's after the holiday weekend. Or holiday week, I should say.
Yeah, maybe, maybe the holiday weekend is not the best time to implement this.
Because it's already a
because-
weird schedule.
Right, like when are you closed just the 4th of July? So you're not closed during the weekend at all, so,
Yeah, I mean, that's when the Sunday starts. So we are closed July 2nd.
okay, you're closed on a Sunday, then you have a Monday.
Yeah,
And you're
and then you're
closed on a
closed again.
Tuesday,
Yeah.
so this sounds like maybe not the
Right.
best.
Although, a holiday weekend is a time where people are more likely to check the hours and check if it's open before they just show up. A lot of people are not sure, Monday, a lot of people, some people have that day off, some people don't. That's kind of a time when people might say, oh, I'm gonna make sure it's open before I go. So people might be checking the hours anyway. I'd be more likely to find out than.
Are
than
the
a week later.
department heads or those who do scheduling open to being a little flexible with moving people back an hour? Like if this sounds
Yeah.
positive, like.
Yeah, I think like the union's concern was just that, nobody is losing
Losing,
hours. So
yeah.
it would just be like, if they could either make it up or, going forward, they would just shift the schedule. So I think that would be fine.
So would we need to like as a board, would we need to set a date or could we set a range of dates? Based upon like, what your staff,
I would think to make it cleaner that you would just pick a date and then vote to start it, just to be clean.
okay, so.
I think we need to be guided by you, Natalie. When do you think it physically could actually happen? And then we'll look at the calendar, get that Monday date, or you probably don't want it in the middle of a pay period. So.
I mean, it was a good question. I mean,
Yeah, it's irrelevant because they're gonna put their hours in, so if they're going to move their hour up or down, they're still gonna have that many hours in the day. Yeah, but it's a good question because again, I think our concern is if you're scheduled out a month in advance, to at least give them 2 weeks' notice to adjust to a
Right.
proper time.
Right.
So sometime probably around the 17th, if that's what you're thinking, or the 24th.
yeah, I think
That gives
honestly to
them
give
enough
people
time
some,
to
to
adjust.
to ensure that their schedules are set, I love the idea of starting it, July 1, but I think, to make it cleaner and to give everybody time and, maybe to come up with some marketing and talking points, I think I would go with the 10th or the 17th of
17th.
July.
So put that in the resolution and we're done. Good.
So in terms of, not confusing people, so if we pick the later date, would that give you enough, like, time to sort of apprise the public that this is a permanent change as opposed to just a summer change, or,
I think so, yeah.
so is that,
Yeah, I think the 17th would be enough time. I think that would work out for everyone.
okay, so July 17th? Sound good? All right, so is there a motion to close the library from Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Effective July 17th, 2023?
I like that motion.
Is there for seconds? Okay, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
All right, anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion passes at 6:15 PM. All right, I think that was all the business that I had here. Is there any more, is there any public input? One? All right.
I just have a question. Seeing that, I thought we were gonna hold up for just 2 minutes, but that motion for Laura Vincent, could I put my yes to that or?
We already voted on the motion, so, yes, I mean, it's fine that you're in favor, but your vote won't count because we already voted, on the motion before you arrived. But, the motion is, all right. Is any other business discussions? Anything else to?
I would just like to say, just thank you for everyone for coming and, getting this passed. I think you're gonna make staff very, very happy for this. So thank you for your time. And I know this was, Joanne, you thought you were done. So just thank you for coming and making this work tonight.
Right, motion to adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Noreen. I'll second.
Or Joanne and,
No, Noreen.
oh, Norina. I'm sorry. Cory, all in favor of the motion? Aye. Anyone opposed to our adjournment? Hope not. All right, so we are adjourned at 6:17 PM. Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
What you were doing.
Bye.
Safe travels.
Thank you. Let's just hope my flight doesn't get canceled again. That's all I need.
I think it's 4:37 is the, I'll be
I thought you needed a quorum and I'm 2 minutes away when I'm dumping that one. Says I'll be. And you're holding me.